Hi everybody and welcome back to the second shelf. Today I have another tag video for you, my Intimidating TBR tag. I was tagged by Sophie over at Verstand. She is a German booktuber, so you probably say Verstand. And she's really one of my favorite German booktubers. She has fantastic content. She reads a lot of classics, but also modern literary fiction, sometimes sci-fi. And if you read German or if you understand German, you should definitely check her out and subscribe to her channel. I will leave a link to Sophie's channel down below. And hi Sophie, and thank you for tagging me. Okay, let's get on with the tag. First question. Which book, I have to look to the side because they are the question, what book have you been unable to finish? I'll go for Geraldine Brooks' The Secret Chord. Geraldine Brooks writes historical fiction, and I really loved her book, The People of the Book. And The Secret Chord is a retelling of King David. So I was looking forward to it. I enjoyed her previous book, and it just didn't do it for me. I don't know why. Maybe I was not in the mood, but I DNF'd it after about 50 or 70 pages. But I'm not giving up on it, so I might give it another try. Question number 2. What book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? Well, of course, that's true for all my books on my TBR and all the other books I want to read because I just don't have enough time. But to answer this question, I'll name Maggie Nelson The Argonauts. That's a memoir in a different way, a different structure, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. It was discussed on BookTube and on Goodreads, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So hopefully next month. Question number 3. What book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? That's Leckie, Ancillary Sword, and the third one in the Raj series, Ancillary Mercy. I've really enjoyed the first in the series, Ancillary Justice, and I don't know why I haven't picked up the series. It's something with me and series. I start a series, I enjoy the first in the series, and then I just don't pick up the second and the third. I don't know, there's something wrong with me and series. Maybe you can explain that to me. I don't know what that is. Anyway, question number 4. What book have you yet to read because it's brand new? I'll go for Marina Abramovic, Walk Through Walls, a memoir. That book hasn't come out yet, so I wasn't able to read it yet. It comes out in October. It's her memoir. But Abramovic, I think she's a fantastic artist, controversial at times, but she makes fantastic work, and I'm really interested to know more about her life, and I'm looking forward to her memoir coming out, as I said, in October. Question number 5. What book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? And Patchett, Bel Canto. I've been wanting to read Bel Canto for a long time, but I read her Truth and Beauty, which is a sort of a memoir depicting a friendship between her and a friend of hers who died, who was really sick. And I didn't like that book at all. I thought it was a way, how can I describe it? A passive-aggressive way of tackling the friendship and Patchett's guilt, and I really, it made me ick. And although I had bought Bel Canto before that, and I meant to read it, I didn't pick it up yet, but maybe I will in the future. Question number 6. What book have you been unable to finish because you're just not in the mood for it? Christina Stead, The Man Who Loved Children. That is a book about, it's not a memoir, but it's autobiographical. at least in parts, from what I understood. And it's about a quite troubled childhood, a father, child abuse. And I've read the first couple of pages, and so far I've just not been in the mood for a book like that. But I've heard great things about it, and a lot of people loved it. So I'm hoping that I'll pick it up sometime when I'm in the mood. Question number 7. What book have you yet to read because it's humongous? Well, Hilary Mantel, the Thomas Cromwell trilogy, that is to say the first two, Wolf Hall, and the third hasn't come out yet. But it's intimidating to me, the humongous 2 books, and I feel, like I said previously with series, if I start with the first one, Wolf Hall, I will have to read the second and the third. And the writing style is so dense and not something that is immediately appealing to me. So that's why I have shelved those books. Question number 8. What book have you been unable to finish because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? I bought Patricia Duncker's The Strange Case of the Composer and His Judge, not so much because I loved the cover, but because I loved a previous book of hers, Hallucinating Foucault. I read that book, I think, maybe 10 years ago, and it's really one of my all-time favorites. I reread it a couple of times, a lot of times actually. So I was buying, when I saw the Strange Case of the Composer and His Judge, when I saw it and I saw Patricia Duncker, I immediately bought it. And it had such bad reviews that I'm afraid to read it because I love her previous book so much, and I think she's a fantastic writer, so I don't want to be disappointed. And the last question, number 9. Which is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? Well, that's certainly Svetlana Alexeyevich's The Second-Hand Time. I bought the book, I think, maybe about 2 years ago, when Alexeyevich won the Friedenspreis des Deutschen Buchhandels. That's the Peace Prize of the German book trade, which is a very prestigious German book prize. And I flipped through it. It's an autobiographical tale about Russia, life in Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union. And the writing is not difficult in a way, but it's quite depressing, the way she describes life, at least from what I saw when I read through. So I was a bit hesitant to pick it up, and it's not humongous, but it's pretty big. It's not a small book. But fortunately, Victoria over at A Hermit's Progress, and if you don't know her channel, which you probably do, but if you don't, please check out her channel and subscribe. She's a really lovely and fantastic booktuber. Anyway, she wanted to read the book as well, and we will buddy read it in September. So that will at least be one book of the TBR pile that I will tackle in the very near future. So that was it for the questions of my intimidating TBR pile. This tag has been done by most people I saw on BookTube, so I will tag only one, which is also a BookTube newbie like me, and that's Amanda over at A Scientist Reads, which is also a fantastic channel, I think, and something completely different because she is a scientist and she talks about science also in books, about how scientists are depicted in books, for instance. So please check her out, and Amanda, I hope you will do the tag. That was it for today. I wish you all a lovely weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.